My name is Christian Park, and I'm in charge of the international business at Philos. I'm extremely excited to have this opportunity to introduce Philos to you today because we're confident that Australia will become one of the most important global players in what we do. Australia has already declared that it will become the number one exporter of green hydrogen. Yes, green hydrogen. That's what we do. As our name suggests, we make green energy, green hydrogen to be more exact. We have the technology and the experience of making and managing green hydrogen power systems. The natural energy source is from wind, solar, and waves. Yes, waves as in surfing sea waves. Goldman Sachs recently published an extensive report on green hydrogen, and it forecasts that hydrogen generation market to grow to $250 billion by 2030 and $1 trillion by 2050. Let me tell you a wild story. Would you believe me if I told you that soon you may be paid by our electric companies to use more electricities? Yes, you heard me right. Instead of paying those huge air conditioning bills every summer, we may actually be rewarded to use more electricity. Sounds wild, right? But that's exactly what's happening in Korea right now. Yes, it's the new paradigm. Let me tell you how. Many of you probably saw Netflix's huge hit Squid Games last year. In this drama, there's a young lady who defected from North Korea, 새벽, or you probably know her as number 67. She dreams of winning the game so that she can sneak her or buy her mom out of North Korea and settling down peacefully in an island, southern island of Jeju in Korea. I don't know if any of you had the pleasure of visiting Jeju Island, but it's a beautiful place. Tropical weather, beautiful beaches, and pristine natural environment. The size of Jeju is about 3 times bigger than the island of Singapore. Due to its environment, the provincial government of Jeju has an ambitious goal of becoming totally carbon-free by year 2030. Thus, they call this CFI 2030, Carbon-Free Island 2030. This goal sounds logical because Jeju has tropical weather and windy climate. However, Jeju also has a big problem on its hand that it did not foresee. Actually, this is a common problem for anyone who produces renewable energy in scale. As you know, the wind and sunlight are not constant. We have no control over Mother Nature. So we cannot produce green energy according to our needs. And it's extremely difficult and costly to store electricity. When the island of Jeju was first being developed, no one imagined that the small island would have a power source of its own. So naturally, the electric cable from the power grid on the mainland, serves only one way. It cannot deliver excessive electricity back to the main smart grid. And laying another underwater cable to the mainland is no longer feasible. However, in order to achieve its CFI 2030 goal, the government of Jeju have been generously giving out permits for windmills and solar farms. As a result, Jeju has an excessive electricity at certain time of the day, and its local grid simply cannot handle these surges. And this has come way sooner than anyone imagined. So what happens? The power company simply shuts them off from the grid so that it won't overload their systems. As a matter of fact, recently, Jeju has declared that it will not accept any new electricity from any solar farms on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. This is called curtailment. This is becoming a global problem. I guarantee if you learn anything today is that you will remember this word, because this word curtailment will become a household word soon. We cannot simply just shut off these solar farms and windmills because they're expensive and it damages their equipment if they don't function properly. So Jeju is actually offering some electric car charging stations. They're actually offering to pay some electric car stations if they use electricities during the surging hours. Pretty wild, right? That's where Philos comes in. We have a system that converts these excessive energy and converts it to hydrogen. We call this process P2G, power to gas. We can either store it for consumption, like charging hydrogen cars, or transporting it to a hydrogen charging stations elsewhere, or simply converting it back to electricity when we need it. Last year, Philos successfully launched the first of its kind pilot system in a wind farm in the western part of Jeju. It is a government-funded program, and it still runs quite successfully today. We started with 3 megawatts. Now we have been recently granted to do a 10 megawatt project on the other side of the island. We also operate 2 power systems that generates electricity from sea waves. As you all know, hydrogen has become a hot topic all over the world recently. However, there's still quite ways to go before becoming our main source of energy. We are confident that Philos have the cutting-edge technology and the management know-how when it comes to P2G, or green hydrogen. We have been in business for 13 years, and our current main business is Power Conversion System, or PCS, and Power Management System, or PMS. We are pleased to claim that we do dominate the PCS market in Korea. Our reported revenue last year was $10 million. However, we believe that this number will increase exponentially in years to come as hydrogen ecosystem comes online. If you're interested in what we do and how we do what we do, I will share some YouTube links that explains the technical side of our business and more in depth. Or you can just contact us through Kotra. Thank you very much for your interest and your precious time.